Just say the election was corrupt and leave the rest to me. Those are the words of Donald Trump, December 27th, 2020, which have now come out yesterday through Richard Donahue. Hi, everyone. Harry here to talk about one of the most incendiary pieces of testimony that now has been made public, actually through the Senate and the auspices of the January 6th committee, but obviously we know that Jack Smith has it as well. All right, Richard Donahue. He was the acting Deputy Attorney General when this statement was made. He had previously been, just a few weeks before, Bill Barr was running the department. His deputy was Jeffrey Rosen, and Rosen's main sort of staffer, not Senate confirmed, was Richard Donahue. It's a powerful position in the department, and we know he was particularly focused on the election stuff and all the Trump stuff. After Barr leaves, he becomes the acting deputy number 2 in charge, and Rosen becomes the acting AG. And meetings ensue. Again, as always with Jack Smith, we have some of the, really good snippets, but who knows what else we've got. Donahue has met with him, we know, and has provided Donahue's notes. Very important distinction here: who meets with agents and prosecutors and who goes to the grand jury, because all this talk now about people they still want to interview, and does that mean they won't do the indictment? No, it doesn't mean that. You need to use the grand jury before it votes out an indictment, after which its job is done to lock in testimony from people who might go south on you at trial, or that you really, really need the grand jury to hear. But meetings and voluntary interviews with agents and prosecutors, those precede and they post-date, and you often don't put them in front of the grand jury, among other reasons, so the notes and the whole proceedings don't get turned over. All right, but Donahue. So December 27th, 2020 is a phone call with Trump. It's preceded already by a pressure campaign. One of the things that Trump's minions are pushing is an idea that maybe Argentina, through satellites, had tried to influence the outcome, or an Argentinian company. It's all lunacy, which is exactly what Donahue had called it in a note to Rosen, the acting AG. By the way, Donahue, Rosen, no kind of lib types or Democrats. They're solid Kirkland Ellis Republicans that Bill Barr had brought along, but we had just reached a point, as had Barr, that it's between truth and fiction and rampant law breaking and fidelity to legal constraints of the Department of Justice. But anyway, on December 27th, there's some question, Rosen says something to the effect in the phone call, we can't just reverse the election. And Trump makes this famous statement, which will be admissible at trial and will come in at trial. Just say the election was corrupt and leave it to me. It's really chilling if you think about it in the context of who Trump is and what he was planning. So he made a similar statement at a different time, saying, just leave it to me and my guys in Congress. So what he was looking for the department to do, and what Jeff Clark, remember him, was willing to do, was just tell Georgia or other states something's not right here. And then with that red meat talking point, Trump would get the members of the crazy MAGAs in Congress to just sow chaos, have some kind of delay, with the goal of pushing things back to the state legislatures that are a majority Republican, and really just steal the election in plain sight and plain daylight. So it's not simply a demonstration of his guilty intent, but it's really a kind of vivid distillation of what he was trying to do. For the DOJ, the legal people, he just wanted them to tell a little fib, basically. Just say it was corrupt, even though, of course, it wasn't. And then he would take that and use it as a fulcrum to play it for all it's worth with the alliance of corrupt associates in Congress, who, by the way, are a huge part of the story that so far hasn't come out, and we don't know if it will. So Donahue notes are really going to be very powerful evidence here. They're taken contemporaneously, so they but in any event, a little bit of legal inside stuff, but anything that Trump said that he said is admissible at trial. It's called an admission against a party opponent. So that's coming right in. There's not going to be admissibility issues. And then we know that Donahue and Rosen have other correspondence. For instance, when Donahue is telling Rosen this is the pure lunacy. And then more generally, it's Donahue and Rosen allied with what remains of the grown-ups at the Department of Justice, the White House counsel, Pat Cipollone, and the deputy White House counsel, Pat Philbin, who go to Trump when he's pushing the Jeff Clark coup idea, make Clark the AG, and do essentially just tell Georgia that it's corrupt and leave it to him from there. That's when there's the crisis. Donahue, Rosen, and with Cipollone and Philbin go to Trump and say, you're going to have a Saturday Night Massacre on your hands. We're referring to the debacle in the Nixon special counsel days. Everyone's going to resign from the Department of Justice. And then, and only then, did Trump back down. He was ready to install a lackey who may very soon be a co-defendant. That'll be another discussion for us to have, Jeff Clark. And just wanted to, get the DOJ first to dig the hole, and then he would leverage it with the shovel wielded by all his allies in Congress. A really somewhat detailed and nefarious plan to completely reverse an election that he knew he had lost. So, big piece of evidence. You'll probably see it in the indictment. The indictment is coming soon. The big thing to be watching for, of course, is whether and when Trump's attorneys go in to make a last-ditch effort. But that, I think, is what remains. But look for this December 27th statement from Trump to be in there and to be among the harder-hitting pieces of evidence that Jack Smith has assembled. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.